Now, following our first video, you should already know the basics, how to survive in this flooded and overwhelming world. But that was only the start. It is possible to thrive and advance further than you ever thought, and today I'm going to show you how. The basics of surviving in Subnautica is in 3 elements: hunger, thirst, and oxygen. Once you've eliminated the need to worry about these 3 core elements, you're well on your way to thriving. What I'm going to need you to do first is go to the Aurora. You will need a repair tool, a knife, and a laser cutter. With all of this, you're going to be able to sort that radiation problem. Make sure that you have on your rad suit, and get looting. You know what? Have an early time lapse to start off your day. Chapter 4: Hunger. Now this one is very simple and easily achieved with one very particular hack. You're going to want to get into your Seamoth and travel to the island that's in the southwest direction. Eventually you will receive a message which will guide you there naturally as well. Once you're on the island, you will need to go to 3 locations. Once there, you will need to collect the seeds and scan the various building elements which will allow you to upgrade your life. Especially the indoor planter, as this is your key to the unlimited food supply. Once you're back at your base, it's time to expand. Build yourself a multi-purpose room and place in your planter. Now, at any time when you're hungry, you can collect an unlimited resource. I would also suggest dotting around the single planters in your base for wide access to this food. Now, Chapter 5: Thirst. What you will need to do firstly is locate yourself the water purification station. This goes into your base and generates purified water just as long as you have power. I always find it easiest to go into the cave system next to where our base is set up. This system actually becomes integral to a lot of the progress we're going to be making today. This cave system has a lot of valuable resources, so remember where it is because you may need to go back there. There are several locations in here, however there is one that is key. Inside is the purification station which you will need to scan, and you only need it to do once. Once you're done, go back home and install. Chapter 6: Oxygen. Now oxygen isn't something you can tackle per se, however it is something which can be developed over time and made less of a worry. First, you will need to make yourself a modification station. Once all the blueprints have been found, drop this down and upgrade your oxygen tank. This will bolster your available oxygen to over 200. And secondly are the vehicles. Everywhere you explore in Subnautica always becomes a lot less scary and worrisome once you have a oxygen supply nearby. And for this I'm using vehicles. There are also these brain corals that you can use in an emergency, but the deeper you go, the less these become available. Your vehicle is always a better option and a more permanent one, which takes me to the Cyclops. This beast is basically a movable base with storage and the ability to upgrade the inside like your normal base. Once made, I have installed the food supply, battery charging, and additional storage. This sucker is a submarine, and it can go deep. To get the Cyclops, however, you do require to complete 3 stages of blueprints instead of just the 1. A lot are scattered around the edges of the early game areas, the mushroom and the bulb forests, and also the rear of the Aurora. Chapter 7: Advancements. Now, I know that's a bit of a broad statement, but it's the best way that I can use to explain it. The first advancement is simply your base. I made a nice little home, and that has all the bells and whistles I could ever need. Here's a little time lapse of the build to show you what I did. next is upgrading yourself, which mostly can be achieved at the upgrade station. The knife, for starters, can be upgraded so it will cook the fish instantly upon any kill. Also, the modules for your vehicles, you'll be looking for upgrading the depth modules and some additional perks for easier use, such as sonar and torpedoes. Next will be upgrading your power. Now initially I would suggest to use the bioreactor, as it will run on a sustainable food source, but it does have a lot of maintenance. What I would suggest further along the road is a thermal plant. You can set your scanner for thermal vents, and you'll need to find the closest one to your base. As you can see, I've linked up a line of the power to our huge base, which would roughly produce about 500 to 700 units at any given time. This is a power supply that requires no maintenance at all, and if for whatever reason you need additional power, you can always add extra plants around the thermal vents. Well, that's that. Now you know not only all the basics, but you also have all the tools that you will need to survive, but you have everything that you will need to thrive in this world, and eventually escape onto Pastor's Green. Or return to this flooded place and find it frozen. Now wouldn't that be interesting? If you have found this video helpful or informative in any way, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you wouldn't mind, just whilst you're there, giving it a like, hitting subscribe. It means the world to me. It probably means more than what you know. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, take care and peace.